Welcome to News 101. Today we will be discussing why university parking is a sensitive subject. But first, we will look at the Australian brand Billabong. Why are they losing money? Why isn't the clothing giant winning over America? During 1973, a young Australian bloke named Gordon Merchant started his path of success from a kitchen with his fellow partner Renner in Gold Coast, Australia. They were passionate about making quality surfing products for real surfers. They began their journey by designing board shorts at home on their kitchen table, then selling them to the local surf shop. The board shorts didn't take long to find immediate attraction by young surfers in Australia. Billabong later designed surfboards, t-shirts, and more. The duo then took their enterprise seriously and became a company and began incorporating marketing of the brand. Special events and contents began to raise awareness of this young, successful company. Gordon's board shorts all of a sudden became a surfing sensation in Australia. Though this wasn't enough for the successful Australian company, it was time to globalize. The benefit for Billabong is the American market is very similar to the Australian in terms of cultural differences. Hofstede's dimensions suggest that Australian and American cultures are almost identical, such as individualism has a difference of 1 score, 90 to 91, or masculinity which holds scores of 61 to 62. Billabong continued their journey of success 7 years later in the shores of North America. They were now officially a global brand name. Again, they had massive demand, and it didn't take long for Billabong to take over the North American surfers market. Billabong continued to open branches in all around the world, including New Zealand, Japan, and South Africa. In the late 80s, they had established also in Europe. Billabong later expanded to the skate, snow, and wakeboard markets. They were now not only a surfers brand, but also a name of board sports. Everything was going smoothly for Billabong until cracks began to show. It was no longer cool to wear Billabong, as people who were buying Billabong products 20 years ago are still purchasing them today. They are now dads with kids, and the kids don't want to wear what their dad is wearing. This has led to loss in sales for Billabong. Billabong faced another problem. The growth strategy meant they were buying too many stores and brand names and integrating that brand name to Billabong's own brand strategy. Half of the purchasers were not bringing in a profit. There was still a massive challenge to bring the company back into profit. The overpriced products are a symptom, not the cause. If they had enough sales, they would have the needed capital to fund the business through the troubles. Billabong has drifted from originally what they were, a simple surfers brand passionate about the beach lifestyle. Billabong is now a fashion-based company who needs to urgently aim their brand to the youth and let the youth be their market focus. The decrease in profits is scaring shareholders and consequently sponsorships Billabong are now backing off and pulling away their sponsorships. The consequences of an obsession with a growth strategy of size expansion has become an almost terminal strategy for Billabong. Billabong's original entry into the North American market was a short-term success. However, they didn't plan for longevity, and consequently they are facing large losses. Billabong faced 3 main challenges with their entry into the American market: their brand image, strategic decisions made by management, and of course environmental factors such as competition. These issues are all linked, as environmental issues caused by strategic decisions by management in turn hurt their once strong brand image. This report will reveal the journey Billabong has had in the American market and why they failed and how they can recover from past decisions. We will now head to Imogen for more information.
Hello Hello, this is Imogen speaking. I'm here at Billabong headquarters.
Yeah, let's talk about strategy. Billabong being the prospector, constantly developing new products, making expensive acquisitions of credible brands, opening stores around the world. A mission. It has resulted in losses for the last 3 years due to failing structural and marketing challenges. Let me be clear, let us challenge this. Let me explain so you won't be asking this.
Challenge 1.
Billabong has been sponsoring competitions and associating with well-known athletes, signing Mike and Bam who work in television, who says they keep it all. They use newly acquired brands. Do you all see the vision?
2.
Billa has a trend to first expand their brand through. This is the foundation of their strategy. As it grew, it has been aiming at continuing the global growth. In order to do so, they created the employee share plan. Case closed.
Yeah, case closed. 3. The US market is the main target due to their revenue, though they didn't pursue, causing a few other rivals to cut through, like Quicksilver did, and Rip Curl too, resulting in more competition and a decrease in sales. In the market, they have to adapt to change. Its competition stepped up to Billabong, now they sought out more complication. Drawn in a rent found a bill in 73, summarizing the Aussie culture of surfs and CC. See the brand expansion to export as global strategy, making sure its products were bought by you and me. So a summary of the challenge on Billabong's end, due to bad decisions and market fluctuation, as well as dramatic change in retail trends since teens don't like to dress like old men.
Is Billabong even cool anymore? Is surfing even relevant? Is there something they could do to reach better land? Internal miscommunication caused the CEO to get replaced drastically, trying to reach a dramatic change of faces to get Billa to different places.
Billabong had issues in market nature, like the 07 GFC causing financial failure, making the US economy think about their payments, leading in a direction that wasn't in their favor. The conclusion is that they had 3 main challenges with the American market that has led to short-term success.
The profit dropped.
The ultimate reason for the declining of the clothing giant. From line to end, they were lucky to survive through the night, and Billabong should abandon the growth expansion and try to defend their current market share. Some way they should innovate into new markets rather than just trying to create volume. They should focus on the markets they have. Expansion is not to define their success. Welcome back. We will now discuss further about Billabong. Billabong has been facing losses and must change their approach if they are to turn the company back into a success. Billabong had considered that the best way to strengthen and to position their presence in the USA was to expand into emerging markets by acquiring already established brands. This was an ineffective and costly mistake. However, Billabong has already tried to amend their ways by changing top management. This is a step into the right direction. This new approach must filter down into all of Billabong in order for the company to start anew. Billabong must change their strategy and create a new vision to follow. Billabong should adopt the same strategies put in place like a company such as Maya in order to keep their brand image. For example, Billabong should make a line especially for younger customers such as the Maya line Miss Shop. Billabong could implement this approach by creating categories for their sales, such as a little Billabong line or a teenage version. Or they could take a page out of Qantas's book and make a budget spin-off brand as they did with Jetstar. For a new strategy, they could create a budget Billabong line where Billabong reduces costs so they can open their brand up to other markets. Using either of these methods will allow Billabong to distance itself from the image issues they are facing with the coolness and being seen as an expensive brand. Billabong should abandon their growth, expansion and acquisition strategies and try to defend their current market share. In order to successfully fit into their environment, this also helps with strategy. If they want to expand, they should try to innovate into new markets rather than just try to create volume. They already did this somewhat by having their own brand of clothing and by moving into other markets such as board sports. However, Billabong should focus on innovating on the markets they already have, innovating new surfwear and equipment, or to try and find new technology in reference to ski sports. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time on News 101.